Today's idea for dinner is a fresh take on fish as we bake it, Mediterranean style. Plus an idea for dessert as we find out why balsamic brings out the best of the seasoned strawberries. That's ahead, all on Dinner DeeAs. And my guest today is Chef John Loscalzo. Hello, he's getting busy already. I gotta say, Chef John has racked up years running his acclaimed eggs and kegs brunches at breweries around the Tampa Bay area. And the idea for dinner he's sharing today. It's a Mediterranean-inspired baked fish with rice, plus a dessert of balsamic marinated strawberries with pound cake and a vanilla mascarpone, a flavor combo we'll get to later. But first, dinner. I see you getting the veggies all ready and prepped?
Yeah, I'm slicing these up. What we're gonna do first, though, is actually get the rice on.
Okay.
So we have some rinsed rice here. We have some water boiling.
Okay.
So we're gonna take that off. Put the rice in there.
All right, that looks easy enough.
Yeah.
Now, rinsing the rice, can you tell us why you rinse the rice? I know some recipes call for that and some don't.
Yeah, basically you're removing some of the starch so it's not as sticky, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, so turn that up a little bit.
All right, great. And what kind of rice is this, John?
This is just plain long grain rice. You can use basmati, you can use
jasmine rice. Any of your
can,
favorite, maybe what's in the pantry, it's okay?
I like short grain rice too, like sushi rice, stuff like that too. So we're gonna put a little salt in there.
Okay, and that's interesting looking Himalayan.
Sea salt. Yeah.
Sea salt, okay.
And then just a couple tablespoons of olive oil.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Now, what about the oil? I know there's a lot of conversations about the best kind of oil that you should use. What do you recommend now?
Olive oil for this is fine. You're not frying it in a pan or anything like that.
Okay.
You know, looking for a certain smoke point or anything like that. So olive oil is perfectly fine, and plus it has a little bit of flavor too. So speaking of flavor, we're going to use saffron, which is actually the most expensive spice in the world.
Okay, you're getting fancy.
Yes.
Okay, saffron. What exactly is it? I mean, it looks beautiful.
It's a thread from a flower.
Okay.
So it's got a nice earthiness, a little bit of floral nose, like smell and taste. But people get a little scared because they think it's expensive, but actually, I mean, this is a Latin brand. You can buy this for about $8, and you don't need the whole thing.
Okay, now it looks pretty. I'm sure it's going to infuse it with maybe some color, and of course
definitely
those
color
notes.
also, yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's how you get the yellow rice.
Oh,
Yes.
we're used to sometimes buying it straight out of the bag or the box,
right?
But this gives it that beautiful
And also,
color.
if you don't want to use this, you can buy yellow rice seasoning.
Okay.
There's plenty of brands that make it. So what we're going to do is actually in little quadrants here. We're going to do 2 pinches, 2 quadrants. So we're just going to add it in there.
So just grab it, go. It's already dried. It's easy.
You can even break it up a little bit if you want. You can actually see it already turning color.
Exactly.
So
look at that.
we're just going to mix it up just like this. You know, I'm a little extra, so.
You paid for it. It's a little extra.
Yeah.
Throw it in there, John.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
My
and
friends
the
and
flavor.
family call me extra, so. So you can smell the little bit of floralness?
Yes, I was going to say it's bright.
Yeah, so let's turn this down to, we're going to turn it down to like medium, and we're going to put the lid on.
Perfect, so we'll let that simmer for how long, about 20 minutes?
20 to 25.
25 minutes?
Yeah,
Okay.
20 is usually good, and then we'll get started on our veggies. So the first thing we're going to do is get some oil in there, and I'm using olive oil also.
Okay.
Because we're not doing like super high heat, we're just getting a little color, a little translucent color on the onions.
Veggies, okay.
Yeah.
While you put that in the pan, let me just tell you, if you want to, take notes, you can grab Chef John's recipe for this grouper, and again, or flounder, or whatever fish you want to do, and the balsamic strawberries. We'll be doing that a little bit later. But visit our website, dinnerdeas.com. It's very easy. As a matter of fact, grab your phone, even without typing, scan the QR code on the corner of your screen, and that means you just open up your camera, point it at the TV, and that's where you'll see that little box. It'll pop up a link to direct you right to our website, so you have all the ingredients at your fingertips to start making this what is already smelling wonderful with those veggies and the olive oil.
Right. So what we're going to do too is mix it up a little bit, and then we're going to add another layer of seasoning.
Okay, do you need me to saute anything, or do we just kind of leave it, let it brown, let it get translucent?
I think you can leave it for now, but here, I'll give you that just in case.
Okay, all right.
All right, so we're just going to do salt and pepper.
Okay.
All right.
Some people would do maybe salt and pepper to taste, but it's great to actually season your
Definitely.
veggies while they're cooking. Okay.
And then a little oregano. And then, you know, just for another little pop, some crushed red pepper flakes.
All right. Now, is that going to be too hot, John, or can we kind of adjust that red pepper to taste? Or
I just
leave it
use a
out?
pinch. I
Just
mean,
a
you
little
can
pinch?
use more if you want. That's,
Okay.
That's totally fine.
Wow. Here, let me let you do that. You're the, I mean, he's the expert, right? Now, we've got the rice simmering over there, which already has that beautiful yellow rice color that we're kind of used to. We've got our veggie sauteing. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Chef John's still going to be busy. We're going to get to that flounder, okay? It's going to be right up. Don't go far. Dinner DeeAs is on the way. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs with Chef John Loscalzo. He's with us today, giving us an idea for a Mediterranean makeover to fish, plus a dessert where berries meets balsamic vinegar. Cannot wait for that. But before the break, Chef John showed us how he's doing his rice by adding olive oil, salt, and saffron before he brings it to a boil and then lets it simmer. Then after that, we cooked up some bell peppers, some onions, adding salt and pepper with a little dried oregano and crushed red pepper.
And we're gonna add some garlic. You can chop it up. I like to use the press because it gets it like evenly distributed.
Love that.
Just like old school. I don't know how old this is. So
That's classic, honey.
yeah.
That's vintage.
So if you wanna just scrape it off.
Absolutely.
And then maybe
Okay.
just stir it up.
Because we never want the garlic to burn, right? That's what my grandmother always taught me. You don't want that to burn. So keep moving that around.
Yeah, so we're gonna move it around.
Oh my goodness. Instantly
Right,
the
right.
smells.
So then you can let it go for like maybe a minute, and
Okay.
then
Should
you
I
can
keep moving, or do we
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stop?
move it around.
Okay.
So it doesn't burn. And then what we're gonna do is add canned diced tomatoes. I drained it,
Okay.
so you don't want too much juice. And then green olives, like just a small jar of green olives.
And I don't see the pimento in the
Yeah,
middle.
because I went to a certain store and they didn't have it, but
Oh.
you can choose. You can do
And
black
that's-
olives in there.
Great.
Yeah.
Good.
And then after you're stirring that around, we're gonna give it. We're gonna actually add another layer of flavor because there's a lot of savoriness going on right now.
Okay.
Salty, a little bit of spice. So what we're gonna do is kind of brighten it up with a little bit of lemon juice.
Oh, sweet.
Yep. And then a little bit of white wine.
All right, we're cooking here.
So then we got that going.
Okay.
The veggies, building a lot of flavor. So what we're gonna do is we have our flounder here and we have
Okay.
our baking dish. So we're just gonna add a little oil to the bottom of the baking dish just so the fish doesn't stick.
Doesn't stick. Okay, now I know you wanted grouper, but what happened at the store? Maybe they were out, so we.
I looked and the guy said it was too cold. They haven't had it for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So
Okay, good.
He
So-
recommended flounder. You can use cod, you can use snapper. If you want
Love
something
that.
more economic, tilapia, whatever.
Yes.
And like I said, if you don't like the fish, you can do chicken. You just
Okay.
need to kind of brown it a little bit, put it in the pan.
Okay.
And then it's definitely going to have a different cook time, probably a little longer.
Okay, so a little of that olive oil on the bottom. What about like Pam or some kind of spray in the base?
I like to use olive oil. It's a little more natural. It
Yeah.
doesn't have all the other ingredients that Pam has. You
Gotcha.
know.
Okay.
Sometimes Pam can get a little sticky at the bottom. So
Okay.
we're going to season the fish up. Just add you always want to season each layer. All right. So
Okay.
we're going to do that.
Just a little regular salt and pepper there.
Then you're just going to get it in the bottom of the pan. And you can just kind of zhuzh it around.
Okay, so we're coating the bottom. Love
Yeah.
that.
And then you don't need to put any oil on top because you have all the juice and the oil from the sauteed veggies.
Okay.
So, and then what we're going to do is we are just going to dump this right over
Okay. I'll let you
the
do that.
fish. Yeah.
The smell is intoxicating. I tell you, it really smells great. I can smell the olives, I can smell the wine, all the veggies, that garlic is outstanding. And this could not be easier. Just pour it on top. You
Done.
just completely cover the fish.
Yeah, this is all the work here. And then once you're done, you just throw it in the oven.
All right.
I'm going to throw this in the oven.
I'll let you do that.
Okay.
And I'll let you know to grab this recipe to make this dinner for yourself. Just go to dinnerdeas.com, or you can scan that QR code on the corner of your screen. Pull out that camera. It's so easy. John's got that in the oven, and I'll tell you, we're going to come back in just enough time to make a very quick and very easy and delicious dessert. Chef John, you're going to blend kind of a sweet and sour with strawberries and balsamic vinegar. We'll see how it goes when we come back ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. So we're baking today, and not bread or cakes, but fish, a baked Mediterranean flounder with rice, thanks to my guest chef, John Loscalzo. Now, chef, I'm going to tell you, the Lo in your name is LOKO Cuisine, where the Co is from your wife's last name. How cute is that?
Kojima, yep.
You guys are cute. Look at you here.
Thank you.
Now, you are also making dessert, and I see you're getting ready for it. This is going to be great. Balsamic marinated strawberries with pound cake and a vanilla mascarpone. That sounds delicious, which we're about to get started on, right?
Yes.
Love that. All right, but before the break, wait, let me just catch everybody up. So we finished up our fish. We added garlic, peppers, and onions, and we sauteed it a little bit earlier. And then tomatoes, olives, lemon juice, and a little wine, letting it all simmer while we greased a baking dish. Just seasoned the flounder with just salt and pepper. That's all it needs for this recipe. And then added the veggies on top, baking it all in a 400-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, of course, depending on your oven. I love that. Now, while that's in the oven cooking, we have just enough time for a great dessert, which is actually a traditional Italian combination of flavors, which is strawberries and balsamic, vinegar. That's interesting. Traditional, huh?
Yes, definitely.
Love that.
So what we did was take some strawberries, cut the tops off, quarter them, and then we're going to use some sugar just to kind of marinate it a little bit. And then we're going to use balsamic reduction. So it's a little sweeter than balsamic vinegar, but you still have some of that tartness also.
Now, are we making this reduction, or are we buying this?
You could, but I mean, it's commercially available at any store these days.
Okay,
so
that's easy to do.
Just adding about 3 tablespoons in.
That looks great. It almost looks like maple syrup. Is there something we might be able to replace it if we were like,
you could
first timer to the balsamic reduction?
What? You could do balsamic vinegar and maple syrup.
Ooh.
So it kind of gives that sweetness also. So you're just going to kind of mix it up.
Okay. You
know what you could also do too? You could throw some fresh mint in here.
That sounds lovely.
You can actually throw basil in here too. Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. All right, well, Chef is doing a little stirring and tossing and coating all those beautiful strawberries. Let's talk about the recipe. I know you want to grab this recipe for Chef John's dessert, not forgetting the dinner over there in the oven. But listen, head to our website, dinnerdeas.com, or grab your phone and scan the QR code on the corner of your screen. It is easy to find us. You'll get the recipe, all the ingredients. It is simple. I love that. Now, John, you are back to doing some little tossing here of those wonderful strawberries. Now that we've coated it, what do we do?
So we're going to let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then what we're going to do is create a topping for it.
Okay.
So this is mascarpone cheese. And it's readily available at pretty much any grocery store these days.
Okay.
It's not in the regular cheese section.
Okay, that's important.
Yes.
This is not. This is almost the fancy cheese section,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, it's in the produce section.
In the produce section. So they usually have the open deli or the open cheese areas, if you will.
Exactly.
And then you can grab the different cheeses if you're going to grate, and mascarpone. It's kind of similar to what? How would you describe it?
I'd say a cross between butter and cream cheese. So
that sounds
a little
lovely.
sweeter than cream cheese. Yes.
Sweeter than, that sounds delicious. Love that.
So we just put it in the bowl.
Okay.
And then we're just going to put a little vanilla extract. Okay. This will kind of thin it out a little bit. You can kind of use a spoon to mix it. You can whip this if you want. I just kind of do it with a spoon and get it combined. It's a little clumpy in the beginning, but then you can just mix it together and it all comes together.
That looks lovely. I can actually almost smell the sweetness.
Yeah.
It's just a hint, kind of the consistency of maybe cream cheese.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a little,
it gets a little crumble on it, but it's fine. If you didn't want to use this or you couldn't find it for some reason, you could use cream cheese. You could use ricotta cheese. Yeah, there's different kind of cheeses that you can use.
I love when you can take a recipe and just use alternatives. Sometimes you're like, oh, I forgot to grab this, or maybe this went bad. And you can reach for alternatives that you have right in your refrigerator. So those are great suggestions. How long do we let all this sit before we finish the dessert?
So about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we can do some other stuff, and then we come back to it and plate it up.
All right, we'll do that. While we do that and wait, let's go to see what you've made. We love when you show us your dinner recipes. Send a photo to us. We'd love to see it at dinnerdeas@fox.com. Linda, who's watching from Homosassa, love this, made chicken cacciatore from a recipe shared by Chef Vinny from Cousin Vinny's. And she said, thanks, Chef Vinny. Everything was delicious with your dia. We love ideas, right?
Definitely.
I hit it out of the park. My husband liked it so much, we split it up so he could have it for lunch and dinner. Love the show. Thank you for that. That looks delicious. That looks filling and yummy.
I love it.
My mouth is watering. All right, Carolyn, who's watching in Clearwater, also wrote us. She made the salmon succotash and the squash recipe, which was shared by Chef Jay Narvez from Crew Cellars. Love that. What do you think about that plating?
That looks like my kind of dish. I like the sear. I like the cross cut on the veggies.
We've got a budding chef, home chef, right? Definitely. That looks delish. And finally, Leslie, who's watching in Palmetto, made the honey glazed salmon shared by beekeeper Alicia Bixler. She told us she forgot to actually take a photo, but we still appreciate you. She said, forgot to take a picture. My husband loved it and said to keep the recipes handy. Thanks for the inspiration for a great meal. I love that. That's what we do. Now, we have to take a quick little break, one last break, and when we come back, Chef John will share his tips on plating it all perfectly. It's all coming up ahead right here on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. LOKO Cuisine chef John Loscalzo is making us a wonderful dinner. Now, he's not just making dinner, he's also making dessert too. Mediterranean baked flounder with rice and balsamic marinated strawberries with pound cake and vanilla mascarpone. Did I say that right, Chef John?
You sure did.
Okay, great. Now, before the break, we did our dessert. We diced up some strawberries, adding sugar and balsamic vinegar reduction and letting them soak and soften. They look like they are absolutely delicious. But meanwhile, we also whisked together mascarpone cheese with vanilla to go on top of those incredible strawberries. I am ready. I can't wait anymore. Ready?
You ready to plate?
Let's plate.
Okay.
Let's plate.
So what we're going to do first is we're going to put some rice on the plate. We're going to do the fish. Okay.
That yellow rice looks amazing.
Okay, we're going to put some of this at the bottom.
Okay. Want me to hold the plate?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. This is such an important part because when it looks good, it just somehow tastes better, right? We eat with our eyes, don't you think?
Definitely. And it smells good too. Okay,
definitely.
so then we're going to come over
saffron.
here, exactly, that color, and then we're going to put some fish on top.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Like one dish dinners to me are so wonderful.
Some more fish down there.
Oh my goodness, look at those peppers and onions, those olives, looks amazing.
Get a bigger piece of fish.
Look, is this for both of us?
It sure is.
I do have room in my jumpsuit, John.
And we're going to put some onions and peppers on top.
This would be wonderful just in the center of the table and everyone just kind of dig in maybe?
Definitely.
Now, what would you say we pair with this to drink?
White wine.
White wine?
Yeah, or a nice crisp beer. So, and then what we're going to do is going to hit it with a little oregano on top, a little sea salt, and a little more olive oil. And that's about it. And then put that there.
Amazing.
And then for our
Fabulous.
dessert.
Yes. One of
we're
my
gonna
favorites.
do pound cake. Okay. I'm going to put a piece over here. And then just put it in the center and then get some of those berries right on top.
And by the way, the pound cake, we did not make that today. You just picked that up at the store.
I sure did.
Which is smart. A little homemade, a little store-bought. Always great shortcuts.
And they were out of regular pound cake, so I got almond pound cake.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah,
You're
definitely.
already fancy.
Yeah. And then you mind holding that?
All day. Thanks, John.
Actually, I'm going to put a
strawberry
little
with
bit
the balsamic. We've got that wonderful glaze. Oh, you can drizzle. My mom loves ice cream. Mom, you can put ice cream on top and drizzle that beautiful. Look how cute you made the plate. Look how great that looks. That's beautiful.
I'm just going to put a dollop of the mascarpone on top.
Oh,
there you go.
Yes, please.
Right. So put that over here, and then
don't leave me. We'll do a little taste of
Then
that.
we can do a taste test.
Okay,
All right.
which one should we go first? Obviously, maybe
Yeah,
dinner?
definitely.
All right, now you're going to dig in as well?
Yeah, you get a
All
nice
right.
piece right
Oh, look at that. And let me get one of these olives, a little bit of the rice.
there. Try this.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. That is amazing.
That.
I am so anxious for one of these strawberries. Oh my goodness. That's so delightful. It's refreshing, delicious. Love the strawberry taste, a little bit of that glaze. You don't taste the bite of the vinegar, little sweetness. Outstanding. And that mascarpone.
It's a nice end. To the,
Wow. Hold that because I want you to know what a great finish. No, Chef John, Chef John, I can't even talk with my mouth full. Not only do you serve at brunches at your LOKO Cuisine pop-up, but you also have a day job. This is very interesting as a special education teacher. Now you're helping adults with disabilities develop essential work and life skills. That's beautiful. But tell us about this picture that we're looking at.
that picture is actually, we did a Secret Santa, and all the students, we took them shopping so they can get their gifts for each other. And we exchanged them in class. Yeah, it was great.
That is
We get them
wonderful.
out in the community as much as possible.
Yes. Well, what a great human being and what a great job. You are
Yeah.
delightful, and this
Thank
is
you.
absolutely delicious. So special thanks to our chef, John Loscalzo. By the way, we also have a link to LOKO Cuisine on our website, dinnerdeas.com, which is where you can find recipes for both this incredible fish and that delicious balsamic strawberry dessert. I'm Angie Corley, and we will see you next time with more ideas for dinner, or as we call them, Dinner DeeAs. Fabulous. See you next time. I think I need some more.
There you go.